So I'm in the Fanatics shop in Regent Street, London. Sports memorabilia shop. I did ask if I could film. They said, yep. Disaster was averted. I had to go to the toilet. There's no toilets in London whatsoever, I can guarantee that. And I went into the DJI shop, who were the makers of this camera. And I had to ask him about a setting. And then I went back and I said, hey, would you know where a toilet is? Hoping he may let me use their staff one. And he said, come next door to the cafe, we'll drop my name and you can go. And he did, and it was great. So shout out to Andy at DJI store in Regent Street, London. So this is the Fanatic shop. So it's got everything here. Like this is, who's this? This is a Formula One suit from Charles Leclerc. So they're very slim, these Formula One drivers. And that one would be Lewis Hamilton, who was actually here at the opening of this store. So that's pretty cool. All right, a lot of soccer stuff, a lot of Premier League, Arsenal. $175 for a box, unopened box. So that's the go now, giving these unopened boxes. Paris Saint-Germain, $8,000. Wow. 2,100. Okay. So I mean, it's premium prices. I didn't expect anything cheap. He doesn't have any rugby league, unfortunately. Nothing from the Eels. Nothing from the Chooks. But I got talking to the fella who took the photo, and he said that we were just talking. He's into cricket, and we were starting talking about the cricket and what I've got and things like this. So that was very interesting. Damon Hill signed helmet, $350. Yeah, it's a very nice shop. Lewis Hamilton helmet. Look at that, signed official Mercedes helmet. It's called a promo helmet. So that's pretty cool. Signed on the visor. That's pretty cool. Wrestling. Triple H. $149 for Punk. Cena. Roman Reigns, £560. Brock, $18.50. Interesting. What do you sell most of? Is it basketball or Premier League?
Sorry?
What kind of stuff sells?
Football.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Football sells most.
And then what, basketball?
Not too much.
No? Okay. Any rugby league? Rugby league, they're missing out there.
I don't know.
Tom Brady. Chelsea. Cactus Jack. Why is that selling? $4.20 for Cactus Jack. Embarrassing. Oh, I like that. Wow. Holograms. That's brilliant. That's cool. Make it personal. In custom studio card. Oh, there he is, the man. That's pretty cool. Brutal. So this is the brutal Regent Street. Now, I don't know if I'm pointing north or south. Wouldn't have a clue. There we go. The buildings are just the most magnificent things you've ever seen. It's a wonder. That's pointing towards Piccadilly Circus, I'm pretty certain. Now I'm off to Savile Row. Savile Row used to be the home of fine English tailoring, but number 3 Savile Row was the home to the Beatles company that they made to protect their interests after Brian Epstein died, and it was called Apple Corp. Apple Corp, C-O-R-P, pronounced Corp. And the top of that building was where the Beatles performed their last ever concert. Now you can't get to the top of the building, but you can certainly get to the front of the building. And I know that there's a blue plaque on there, so we're going to go and have a look at the Beatles, number 3 Savile Row. I love a plaque, and it's amazing what you find when you're just looking around and you see a plaque. Now I normally see blue plaques, but I've seen a different coloured plaque today. And I don't think it's an official London one, but let's have a look. So there it is. So what it virtually says is, the first paperbacks published by Penguin were from this site more than 50 years ago. So, very nondescript looking building near Savile Row, the Beatles. But, there it is, 8 Vigo Street, the original home of Penguin Books. Oh, here we are, Savile Row. Let's just stand back and have a look. Savile Row. And there's number 3, I can just see it now. Number 3, Savile Row. So this is where the Beatles did a lot of stuff back in the late 60s and early 70s. Wow, this is heaven. 3 Savile Row. Blown away by the whole thing. And on that roof, the Beatles played their last ever concert just around the corner from Regent Street. And when they were playing, the police were trying to close them down. And the street was packed with people at lunchtime just going about their business. And then they could hear this sound coming from up there, and who's this? Oh, it's the Beatles. And I remember seeing pictures and film and everything else of the Beatles getting out of their cars and then walking up those stairs through the door to 3 Savile Row. Just got an American tourist to take a photo of me standing on the steps at 3 Savile Row with a blue plaque in the back behind me. So that was fantastic. Fantastic. So, back to Savile Row. I won't say it's the home of fine English fashion, but it's certainly every shop along here is a fashion shop. So the tradition has not been lost at all. A very nice street. It's one of the quietest streets in London. There's nothing here besides tailoring. So let's look at some of these plaques. What do they say? Richard Brimsley, dramatist. Dramatists? I don't know. Wrote drama. Lived here. Oswald Boating. So yeah, it's still very much fashion. That's one for the working man on a Saturday night, working in Savile Row. So yeah, very chuffed about seeing 3 Savile Row. Unbelievable. I mean, it's like 7:30 at night no one around. That's probably the best way to do it. I was just lucky that someone was coming along and I got the photo. So I'm extremely happy with that. So this end of, so you go from one end of Savile Row, which is all elegant, and then it just morphs into just like a normal street that's nothing special. So we're going to make our way back up to the good part of Savile Row. Just have one final look at the Beatles. I think of walking along here that day in 1969, you didn't know it was going to be the Beatles' last concert. I urge you to look at Peter Jackson's Get Back documentary. That's got some really great footage on the day. But you're walking along here, maybe you know the Beatles have their office there. There's people looking up now. There's actually quite a lot of people now looking up at the building, and they're all having their photo taken in front. And that was no more than 5 minutes ago. There it is, 3 Savile Row, and on the roof, the Beatles played. And now the crowd gets drawn at the front. There was no one here 5 minutes ago. I'm genuinely shocked by how many people were walking past 3 Savile Row and didn't know the significance of it. People were looking up, thinking, what's this? And there were people walking past asking why we were all taking photos, and it just stuns me that one of the most significant places in music history ever, and these are Londoners, or British at least, and they didn't know anything about it. Maybe that's just me, but I just found that amazing, actually. Now, this is called Burlington Gardens. So it's like a mall, but the cars are driving through. So ooh, God, get down the ditch. It's not really a mall. So here's Ralph Lauren, or that's not Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren London. Here's a nice phone box.
Go on, man. Go on, man.
None of them work. Not one of them work. Cartier, a place called Boodles. Now I need to get to HMV in Oxford Street. I need to pick up the package that I left because I didn't want to carry around all day. Well, that's fair enough. Can't be lugging stuff around all day when you can leave it. Very nice evening in London. It's about, what time is it? 7:37 on day 2 of my trip. I've done 27,000 steps. That's piss week. I did 37,000 yesterday. So I slackened off a bit, but that's okay. Geez, I'm knackered. Like I did all that training before I left, which was nothing really. I did in summer. I did a fair bit in summer. Not much leading up to the trip. I don't think it would have helped me because my shoes are just, well, the shoes were buggered. But I don't think you can get used to walking on this scale. I just realised that I've been walking in Mayfair. Mayfair is one of the high-end areas of London. And I'll tell you what, this is just the most gorgeous place. All the beautiful shops, you know, the streets are clean, all the fancy cars. And then you got that shit, which should be banned. It does not go with the surroundings. It's a disgrace. But yeah, this is Mayfield, so I'm passing, you know, Versace, everything. All the high-end shops, they're all here. They're all here. All of them. If you're opening up, or if you have, or if you are a high-end retailer, you are in London, and you are probably in this street. Grand Seiko, not just Seiko, Grand Seiko.
Rude, but it's like fun.
This is a very physically punishing trip, and it's only day 2. But I'll tell you what, it's an unbelievable trip. Look at that. Goodness me. It's called the Eden Gallery. Not buying those on Shopper Dockets. And when we're talking about high-end retailers, nothing gets more high-end than R.M. Williams, Australia. Now, there was a shop next to that one, which was a bit of a gallery, and had a nice sculpture of the Beatles. And I asked the fella if I could take a photo, and he said, no, that's fair enough. Downton Abbey, the auction. Online auction and preview exhibition. Yes, I'm here. Sherlock is Lady Mary wedding dress and accessories. £5,000. Wow. Put this in the calendar. Downton Abbey, the auction. Going to a talk, I think it's in November, by William Dalrymple, who is a historian and an expert on the East India Company. And I thought that they were gone. I didn't think they were still around. But there we are. The East India Company. They're still around. So who would have thought? So there's an auction that I saw back there of artefacts from Downton Abbey. So that might be worth a look. Not that I'm going to buy, but to have a look would be fascinating. It's probably my new favourite show. Late adopter, great show, but you just walk along these streets, you know, and you just stick your head in the window and you find these amazing things. Now, you're having an auction of Downton Abbey gear, English show, but you're not going to have that auction anywhere else. But you know, but London, amazing stuff. Amazing.